Katie and welcome back to my booktube channel. It's been way too long since I have talked to you guys. I haven't filmed a video since June, so I thought I would do a book haul because I just came back from my honeymoon and definitely splurged and bought myself more books than I probably should have, so let's jump into it. Okay, so this first stack of books I actually bought before going on my honeymoon because I wanted to take them with me. And the first book is Corrupt by Penelope Douglas. I actually finished it before the honeymoon because I couldn't hold off. I actually read this years ago. That sounds like forever ago. I read it like a year or two ago, and it was one of the first dark romances that I had read, and I was not ready for what was in this book, so I was a little scarred from it, but because I read a lot of dark romance now, I wanted to buy a physical copy and reread it, and I loved it this time. I gave it 4 stars, and it's just a really good dark romance. I'm really excited to continue the series because I have a feeling I'm going to like the other romances even more than I liked this one. But I'm just really glad I have a physical copy because it was really fun to reread it. And on the complete other side of the romance spectrum, I got Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. And I have seen this all over TikTok, especially from Larry Reeds, who is one of my faves. It's just a really cute romance between a figure skater and a hockey player at this college. And I've been loving it. This is the book I read during my honeymoon. I'm like 140 pages in. I've like annotated it and I'm having a great time so far. I'm trying to think if there's any tropes that I can think of right now, but I really can't. It's been like a week since I read this, but I'm really excited to continue this because I have been loving it so far. And also the colors are really cute and I don't know. There's just something so adorable about this book. It kind of gives me like off-campus vibes, sort of. So if you liked those books by Elle Kennedy, you would probably enjoy this one. Another book I picked up because of the book community is Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. I've heard a lot of people talk about this book and I am really intrigued. I don't know much about it. I know it's about a socialite and I think like a bad boy kind of love interest, which I'm always a sucker for. I've heard that it's kind of a toxic relationship and it really is like an emotional roller coaster. So if that's not something you enjoy, maybe don't pick this up. Also, make sure to check trigger warnings for all of these books because I'm sure that most of them have some kind of triggers, but obviously the ones I haven't read yet, I'm not really sure. So make sure to check those out. But I'm really excited to dive in. I think this is a trilogy. There might be more books coming out, but there's 3 books out so far. And I'm excited to dive into this. Hopefully I enjoy it. It's cute because I've seen little like text bubbles in here, which I always love when authors include things like that. So we'll see. Hopefully I like this. Next, I got The Ritual by Chantal Tessier. I don't know how to say this author's name clearly. I saw this on TikTok once, and that was all it took for me to pick it up because I was really in the mood for some dark romance for the month of October. I didn't have a chance to read it yet, but I feel like this is something I'm really going to love. I know that it takes place in college, and I think it's like a secret society kind of vibe where I don't really know too much about it. I think for some reason our main character makes a deal with this guy and she kind of has to, it says she is to serve and obey him, he will protect and own her. That's like the only way I can describe it. I don't know anything else about it, but I'm so intrigued and I'm just really happy to have this one in my hands. I've been really into dark romances this year, so I feel like this will be perfect for November. Okay, this next section are books I got in Tennessee. I guess I didn't tell you guys where we went on our honeymoon. We went to the Gatlinburg Pigeon Forge area by the Smoky Mountains in Tennessee, and it was beautiful, and I never wanted to leave. It was so much fun. So these are books I got from a Books-A-Million in that area. And the very first one I picked up was The Dark King by Gina L. Maxwell. I've had my eye on this one for a while, and I'm so excited it is finally out. It says it's Neon Gods meets 50 Shades of Grey, and that sounds so good. I know that there is this like secret society, or like maybe not a secret society. Basically, this takes place in Vegas, but there's like this whole secret world hidden in Vegas. And our main character wakes up married, and she has no idea how it happens. And she ends up being married to the king of the dark fae. And that just sounds so good. I haven't read a book about fae in a while, but it's something I do really enjoy. And also the fact that there's like this whole world hidden under Vegas sounds so cool. And also they end up married. And I love like arranged marriages or marriages of convenience. Like those tropes are so fun to me. So I'm really excited to pick this up. I've never read Gina L. Maxwell before. So we'll see. I think I'll really enjoy this one, and I'm excited to dive in. I also had to pick up 2 Katie Robert books that I've had my eye on for a while. I got Wicked Beauty and Court of the Vampire Queen. Wicked Beauty is the 3rd book in the Neon Gods series. I'm not sure what the series is actually called, but this is a companion. Oh, it's the Dark Olympus series. This is a companion novel, and I've already read Neon Gods and Electric Idol, so I really wanted to dive into this one. I think this one is about, yes, Achilles, Patroclus, and Helen of Troy. So I'm really excited. We got to meet at least Helen in the other books. I can't remember if we met the other 2, but it sounds really interesting, and I'm excited to dive in. I don't want to read too much about it because I really like just diving into these books, especially because the world is already set up from Neon Gods and Electric Idol. So I am just excited to see where this one goes because each one has been different, and I liked Electric Idol even more than Neon Gods, so I have a feeling I will like this one even more. As I was flipping through, I remembered a few things I love about these books. We get 2 maps at the beginning, so you get this little chart of the ruling families of Olympus, and then you also get this little map of what Olympus looks like, which I love because as the story goes on, I like to look back and see like where we are in Olympus. And then I also found this like scandalous little character art thing in the beginning, so that makes me even more intrigued because there's 3 of them in that picture, so I'm excited. The other Katie Robert book was Court of the Vampire Queen, and first of all, this cover is beautiful, and I haven't read a vampire book in a little bit now, but I love vampire things. I loved Vampire Diaries. I was obsessed with Twilight as a kid, and I'm really excited to read more vampire books. Also, the dedication in here says, "To everyone who is Team Damon, Team Spike, and far too into Dmitry Belikov." I can't say that name, but I literally agree with all of those. I loved Buffy the Vampire Slayer, loved Spike, definitely was Team Damon, and I think Dmitry, I'm not sure if that's from Vampire Academy or from something else, but I'm sure I would agree with that too. So that's really all I needed to want to pick up this book, and I've had really good luck with Katie Robert books. I enjoy her writing style and also the spice that she gives us, so I'm really excited. I guess I didn't tell you what this is about. This is a reverse harem, and all I know is there's an arranged marriage, and she is forced to marry Malachi, who is, I don't know if he's like a king or a ruler of some kind, but it says he's like darkly powerful and dangerously seductive. And the more she kind of gets to know him, he also introduces her to his 2 best friends. And that's where this reverse harem comes from. And I don't think I need to say any more. Switching things up a little bit, I have been really excited for Christmas. I know it's only November, but on our honeymoon, a lot of things were starting to get decorated for Christmas, and so now I just can't wait. And I saw this really cute Christmas book, and I had to get it. This is A Merry Little Meet Cute by Julie Murphy and Sierra Simone, and I am so excited. It looks adorable, and it's so funny because it just has like a little scene on the back, so it's all I read, and then I got home and read more of the synopsis, and I was shocked because our main character, she is an adult film star, and I was not expecting that, But I think that's so fun. And basically, she booked this like Hallmark type movie, which is on like this family channel, which is the complete opposite of her job. And so she has to play along and pretend like she's not an adult film star while she's filming this movie and be on like her best behavior, because I don't think the like Hallmark company knows what she really does, which is like super fun. Also, I'm a sucker for a good Hallmark movie, so I'm excited to be set in like this world. It will be so cute. But I think the guy is also hiding something of his own. I want to say he's like a musician, but I could be wrong. Either way, they kind of bond over having to be on their best behavior, I think. I don't think I'm making this book sound very good, but I will definitely be able to tell you more after I read it, but I can't wait. Oh my gosh, I was flipping through, and this one has a map as well. I love that. Anytime an author puts like maps or anything really cute in the story, I'm here for it. The last book I picked up in Tennessee was Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. For some reason, I have been stopping myself from reading any of her books. I'm that kind of person that anytime something is like really, really hyped up, I get like really scared to read it or watch it or listen to it, whatever it is, because I feel like it's not going to live up to the hype. But for some reason, I really wanted to give her books a shot. So I ended up picking up Daisy Jones and the Six, and I'm so excited. It's also so interesting. I'm sure everybody's read it or heard of it before, but it's told in like this interview style, and I've never read a book like that, and I think it'll be really cool because sometimes if I'm not too into a book, I just skim for the dialogue, and this is basically just like all dialogue technically because it's an interview. So I'm really excited, especially because this is set in the 60s, I think, 60s or 70s, which is really cool. I don't really read a lot of stories set in other time periods, and it's about like like a band, and I think Daisy, who's a musician of her own. I don't really know. As you can see, I kind of avoided a lot about it, but I'm just very excited. I think this is the first one I'll read. Let me know if there's like an order of reading all the popular Taylor Jenkins Reid books, because I'm not really sure, so I'll probably just go with the order that I like heard of them in. And speaking of Taylor Jenkins Reid, after Tennessee, we were in Kentucky on the way home, and there was a half-price books that I had to stop at because we don't really have one near us. And I bought a ton of books, but 2 of those books were more Taylor Jenkins Reid books, so let me grab those. I got Malibu Rising, and also Carrie Soto is Back, and I am excited to dive into these 2. I don't know anything about Malibu Rising. It looks like this takes place in the 1980s at an annual end of summer party. I don't really know. It just says it's like completely out of control. Oh, the mansion went up in flames. Cool. I don't know what this is about, but I'm really excited. I think this all is just what takes place in one night during the party. Something like that. I think it takes place within like a day or 2. So that's really cool. I don't really know, but I'm excited to read this one too. I've heard great things. And then as far as Carrie Soto is Back, I think she's a tennis player that you kind of hear about within the world of Malibu Rising, and maybe Daisy Jones is the Six? I don't know. But I think they're all kind of interconnected where you like hear about some of the people in the other books, which I always love, getting those little cameos. And I'm just looking forward to this too. I also love the color scheme. Like the yellow, gold, and the purple is really fun. So, like I said, let me know if there's an order that I should be reading these in, because if not, I'm just going to read Daisy Jones and the Six, Malibu Rising, and then Carrie Soto is Back. But I'm really excited to let you guys know what I think about Taylor Jenkins Reid. The next book I got was When in Rome by Sarah Adams, and I had to get this one because I recently read the cheat sheet and I loved it. It's super cute. I couldn't stop smiling, and I also really enjoy it because I think it's like fade to black, which I usually love spice, but every once in a while I need something that isn't really spicy, and it's more for like the connection between the characters. So I love getting books like this to kind of like sprinkle in there when I need a little bit of a break. And this takes place in Rome, Kentucky. Thought it was Italy, but it's kind of fun that it's in like a small town instead, because I've been really loving small town romances this year. And it has small town, it has grumpy sunshine, and I think our main character is a pop star who needs like a break because she's really burnt out. So she goes on like this road trip. Her car ends up breaking down in front of this guy's house or business, and he doesn't really care for her and isn't really too nice to her because she's a celebrity and he doesn't really want that in his small town, but he offers her his guest room, and that's all I know. It looks like they end up baking together, which is so fun, especially for the holiday season. So this one just seems really cute. Speaking of the holiday season, my next two books are Christmas books. First up, we have A Very Merry Bromance by Lyssa Kay Adams. And this is, I think, the 5th book in this series. I can't remember what it's called, but I read the first one, which was the Bromance Book Club, I think earlier this year, and I actually really enjoyed it. I'd had that book for like a year or two, and it was just sitting on my shelf, and I finally had the urge to read it, and actually really liked it. It's this idea of like this group of elite men in society, whether they're like businessmen or political figures or in professional sports, whenever they have issues with women or just want to know how to please women, that's like a weird way to put it, they turn to romance books, and they have like this little book club. And so this is the 5th book in that series, and it's Christmas themed, which I love. I'm trying to remember what the other books are called. I think they're in the front of this. Okay, let me see. Yeah, the Bromance Book Club was the one I read. Then there's Undercover Bromance, Crazy Stupid Bromance, Isn't It Bromantic, and then this one. So it just looks so cute. I mean, look at this cover. I'm not sure if I want to read the other 3 books before this one, or if I'm just going to dive into this one because it's basically Christmas in my heart. If you have read this series and you think I should read the other ones first, please let me know in the comments because I will try to make that a priority. The last book in this book haul is All I Want for Christmas by Maggie Knox. I have read another Maggie Knox book, The Holiday Swap. I read that last Christmas, and I enjoyed it. So when I saw this one at Half Price Books, I wanted to pick it up too because I love reading Christmas books, and I don't really know what this one's about, but it just looks really cute. And it has a dog on the cover, so I had to get it. I will try to make a video of my Christmas TBR or Christmas book recommendations if you guys are interested in that, and then hopefully by then I will have read this and some of the other ones I got, and I will let you guys know my thoughts on them. So if you would be interested in that, please let me know. But that is the end of my book haul. As you can see, I bought a lot of books within the last few weeks. But I'm really excited to be making videos again, and if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and if you do subscribe, please click the notification bell so you know when I upload next. Thank you guys so much for watching. I can't wait to see you in my next video.